Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Hades 2, and we've been doing a whole bunch of these one-floor scrying stone runs, and they've been a lot of fun, and somewhat unfortunately, it seems like at least at the moment, there is only one more remaining here, the Trial of Humility, and that one is going to be in Erebus, so should be pretty easy floor. Aspect of Melinoe on the staff, and I think it made mention of Apollo, and something about eschewing the power of Arcana. Now that makes me a little bit nervous, since Arcana is one of those things that's just so easy to take for granted how much power that's giving you. So maybe for that reason, we take something a little safe when it comes to the keepsake. Something defensive. I think we usually get a bunch of healing in between rooms from our Arcana, but maybe that means using the Ghost Onion might be a good option here. I think it was Aspect of Melinoe on you, which we might actually take a quick look. Yeah, we can actually upgrade that. It's all about the Omega channeling speed, which without Arcana, how do we feel about that? Yeah, I mean, it would depend a lot on Selene stuff. I mean, it's still possible to benefit from that with just basic God and Goddess boons. But if this does turn into a 100% Apollo run, which it very well may, then not really sure that the aspect is going to make that much of a difference leveling it up further. I mean, it's inexpensive enough. We don't care too much about Silver or Psyche. So I guess we'll still go for it. And that is probably now our most highly leveled aspect. Yeah, that's the maximum rank. Okay. All right.
That, my disciples, is the true meaning of life. Remember it well.
Excuse me? Care to share?
My disciples, they were given quite a fright when that pitch black stone there suddenly lit up. You know what it is, do you not?
Oh, we've used it several times now.
A shard of purest darkness from the depths of chaos. In its countless facets, countless outcomes, perhaps none of which the fates have preordained.
Yep.
Yep, pretty much. If you say so. Alright. Oh, for a second I thought we could salute the punching bag, and I was all for it. Sadly, that does not seem to be possible. Okay, but let's jump in to the Trial of Humility.
Next trial coming up.
For the most part, these have been pretty straightforward. We've had some pretty OP setups that the game has given us. Oh. Yeah, no, we have I think no Arcana, correct, and also no boons preloaded. So, whereas every other run seemingly gave us what was pretty close to an automatic win, this might be going in the other direction, actually being more of a challenge run.
I hope you don't mind I call you Sunshine, by the way. I mean it when I say it. I know you come from underneath the earth, but there's this brilliance about you. Your mother's side, I guess.
Ouch. Hades catching some strays here. Okay, let's see. So we can get an attack boon from you, sprint, and daze. So we're using the staff for context. Cast. Stand in your cast when they expire, immediately restore magic. That is, I think we're looking for a primary source of damage from the onset here. And yeah. Not really sure if we have any aces up our metaphorical sleeves right now. I think this might... And it's not even 100% Apollo. Oh. That surprises me a bit. Okay. It's a bit of a blast from the past in that case. Okay, don't sprint into that. Bit of a blast of the past from the past because we are more or less recreating the first run here, and that we have almost none of the passive bonuses that we've accumulated over time from mostly Arcana.
So that's the stuff of dusk, is it? Discura, that's a name. Forged who only knows how deep within the earth under the watchful eye of night. Something like that.
We do still have, technically, a few little peripheral things, like the gold we got from destroying one of the urns a minute ago. Let's see, cast, deal damage 3 times in succession. Special? Oh, the special is really good from Hephaestus. Sprintus as well. Also, we're getting lower rarity on these boons. I think we're gonna go this route. Okay. We don't have our, 30 health. That is really low. Oh, man. We don't have any of our, Death Defiances, which is also something that is very easy to forget about. I'm not sure that the 75 healing was the right choice to make here. These guys are annoying and probably will damage us at some point. I should use this a lot, though. When it's off cooldown, at least. Fortunately, this does have range, this weapon. It's gonna be, well, I was gonna say the attack. This improves the cooldown. I mean, 16 seconds is a long time to wait. Especially if it does become our primary source of damage. So, yeah. I guess we will go that route. Hammer could certainly help. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. This could be a pretty serious challenge. It's not who I wanted to hit with that. The Apollo on the attack boon is nice because it gives us even more area of effect. Which makes it even easier still to not get hit when we're doing the attack. Pre-Slife with charged attack heal. Base attack is 50% faster. That's certainly tempting. Yeah. If we had... I mean, we could still go with the charge skills since we do have the aspect fully ranked up. Even if we don't have quite as much of the charging support, I think we want to keep it simple.
Ungrateful Daedalus.
Think we need to stick with the fundamentals here. I think that means this. The magic is not going to be very useful if that's the approach we're taking. Let's do that. So if you want to be really safe about it, you can technically just wait for the special to come off cooldown. And then just poke people with that, like that. Which is actually extremely helpful. It happened to hit the most important enemy to go after there. Okay.
Suffer no more.
So now, if we do make it to a shop, we can at least purchase a boon. I think we're avoiding the mini-boss. We are low on boons, in general. Mini shop is interesting, though. Don't have a lot of spare money to throw around. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Nope. Okay, our special does remain our highest range skill, even when we're on cooldown. Okay, so we do have a full-blown shop, which means
Let's see
it's a
here.
little hard to gauge how aggressively we want to go here. This is not the time for a Chaos Gate. Probably would not have time for that Chaos Boon to evolve, even if we take 0 damage walking in. That means we would have a debuff going into the final fight. Whenever you would take damage, receive healing in that amount instead. Expires after 1 hit. We're at full health right now, so the healing part doesn't make much of a difference. It does mean that we don't take damage instead of getting hit. The thing that's frustrating me about this keepsake is, yeah, if we get hit, we can heal off that hit, but that only applies in between rooms. So getting hit in the boss fight, for example, does not... We can't heal off any of that damage. So taking almost anything else would have been, like, the armor. The armor keepsake would have been just more or less a better version of the same thing. Is this worth doing? We would still have enough to get a big boon from the next room, assuming that it even shows up in the shop, which is not necessarily a guarantee. I guess we do this.
Valuable enough.
It's a one relatively small insurance policy. There's a little bit more monies. Yeah, well, obviously it is going to be this. The thing is, as I was saying, the keepsake heals us in between rooms, which means if we do end up taking damage from something other than Hecate, then we can heal that off in between rooms. This is only helpful if we don't get hit until Hecate, and it means we negate the damage from Hecate's first hit. So, it's probably not a big difference maker, but it was cheap.
Really, he still won't say a word. I think he's just covering his tracks so Gramps can't pin him down.
Okay, charge cast uses less magic. Attack is faster. We've already made it a little bit faster. Each time you slay a foe, deal more damage for 30 seconds. I think we're going to be going very slowly, so I don't know that that's going to add up much. I think this is going to be more useful. So here's the tricky thing, is actually having purchased that little thing in the mini shop didn't affect us here. However, we are likely very close to the penultimate room, which would give us a guaranteed shop. So we might find it hard to get up to 150 gold for that shop, which would suggest this could be the best option. That's basically might be the only way to guarantee we get up to 150, whereas this is a guaranteed boon, and the shop might not even give us a boon. I'm gonna do it, though. Oh, I don't like it. No. There's the... Okay, well, wasted. Confirmed. Could tell that I was gonna get pinned in a corner, but I couldn't figure out how to get out of that corner. Surely this is off cooldown again, right? Oh, the protective circles! I forgot that was a thing. Okay, so we did negate the damage from that hit. The thing is, that makes basically no difference, because we would have healed it off with our keepsake anyway. And if we had embraced the Selene potential, then that could have made sense, but I think we're just keeping it simple here. Going for the extra health, especially since we have such low health to begin with.
That you, Arachne?
Yeah, there's the heart, sure. I am kind of deliberately taking a tiny bit of damage, but now it doesn't matter, really, if we take a little bit of damage. We will heal it off, and should have plenty of healing to spare from our keepsake.
Good.
Ooh. Okay. So, highest risk option, but we are so low on boons. This could be very helpful for us. And we've gotten enough of the health upgrades now that I do feel better on that front, because it was low enough. 30 health to start off with made me wonder, like, we're gonna get down by a single hit from Hecate? Because even if we fought her a lot and been defeating her consistently, it does not mean that we've been taking 0 damage from her every time.
The gods and their petty squabbles.
Okay, so I do not recall ever having done these with these gods, so I don't know what they do when they get mad. I can guess. I'm gonna say, let's make Hephaestus angry.
I'm very much obliged.
Pass inflict days, attacks inflict days, casts expand in size until they expire. We don't have anything going for our cast, boon-wise. Is this technically the Apollo cast, or is it just a support supporting, more peripheral cast-related boon. That's the primary cast one. Okay. It's a defensive boost. Would be useful, but it doesn't directly deal damage, whereas this obviously does. Guess we'll take this. And I guess we'll drop it immediately.
Next I offer you protection, Witchy. It'd be wise to take me up on it.
Drop that. Oh, you started with armor, which was a little bit mean. Okay, that circle is presumably the place where we are not supposed to stand, because Hephaestus will hit us. At least it's a pretty easy tell, and it seems like it's pretty easy to avoid it. It's an obvious tell, and it takes a while before it actually starts dealing damage. Oh, that was... The initial hit did not get the Hephaestus effect, but the chaining one did, and the big enemy that I originally hit was the one I would have liked to have had the hammer hit. But here we go.
Alright, we've squared away for now and break time's over. Back to work.
Okay, let's see. So, take less damage, restore some magic whenever we get hit. I mean, over the course of a long run, that would be good. Just when we only have 80 health, 10% doesn't make that much of a difference. I feel like this would be much better. Or honestly, even this. Mathematically, this is, at least for one encounter, certainly better than that is. I feel like this is hard to take advantage of against bosses sometimes, not unless that impervious duration is much longer. We're going to take this. We do now have a fair bit of defenses, and now we've basically made our keepsake completely irrelevant. Do we need this anymore? I feel like we try to get a little more of the offensive stuff going. What? There is a mini shop there. These guys also will pin us in the corner if we let them. Just want to get one of you at least so we don't have quite as many projectiles flying our way. Please stop that. I tried to throw a special at you. For some reason, it didn't go off. There we go. Protective circle. Not that we really needed it. Okay. Attack damage, probably. Or now it's just taking 1 second off the cooldown here. Let's go with the attack damage. Let's double check. This is going to be the penultimate room. Okay. So that means, assuming boon is the main thing we're looking for there, that's 150. We have 64 to spare. Take 10% less damage for 5 encounters. That's what was the cost of one of the... Oh, okay. Yeah, get both of these. This is the effect of that boon that we turned down from Hephaestus. With a timer on it, but that doesn't matter because we're about to go into the fight. And then this is the thing that we were looking at before that we wasted earlier, but now once again means we functionally don't take damage from Hecate's first hit. So we'll do that. It means we still have enough money to get a boon from this shop, assuming there is a boon here. Otherwise, we just buy one of whatever the best thing is. Okay. And yes, like if we hadn't spent as much, we could have probably picked up 20 armor, but I think what we got was possibly better than that, or at least roughly the same value.
I urge you visit us, though since we're under siege and all, perhaps it isn't worth a trip. Olympus sure takes on a different feel when you're stuck. We've cut back on the feasting and frolicking a lot. Oh, how I miss those days.
I know at least one person who has not cut back on the feasting and frolicking. Okay. Ooh. It's a big damage upgrade. Yes, we do lose the area of effect in order to get that, though. Basically turn it from a relatively rangy attack into a very close range attack with extra damage. I kind of like this, though. That way, assuming this hits Hecate, then that means she's dealing less damage to us. You deal more damage while you have at least... Oh! That is offensive. I don't remember taking this before, but but mostly because of the armor that we have, this could be active with a 20% damage bonus for much of the fight. Let's do... Actually, we might be kind of far away if we're relying more on our special. Let's do this. Okay. So, I was a little concerned when we first came in, given just how weak we were defensively in particular. Now, the offenses haven't picked up that much, but defensively, we have made a lot of ground here, so...
Thank you for your service.
Hopefully, we'll still be okay.
At last.
Oh?
Sense the changes in the night, in you. Your strength has waned significantly.
That is true.
Chaos wishes to see the outcome of this particular arrangement, then?
Indeed.
Another trial, Headmistress. My magic may be weakened, but you taught me never to depend on it entirely.
And whether you took such lessons to heart, we shall imminently see. As Selene be our witness above, so shall chaos below.
Yeah, we also kind of passed up on Selene stuff, but true.
Consuming flame.
That's why the special could absolutely end up being the centerpiece. When it does give us the Hephaestus hammer upgrade, that damage boost, it is way more damage than we get from anything else. Excuse me? Oh, that's why. Is it you? It is not you. And which one is this?
Arise again, sisters.
This one, we just take out all of her friends. Boom. So her having the different phases kind of helps us when it comes to getting the Hephaestus special effect going. Just, you know, natural little times. Oh, that is her. Okay. Natural little times for us to take a quick break and then pop back with one of those. Okay, here's the curse. This is the annoying part. We are very likely to get hit at least once.
Look now upon the moon.
That probably just wasted our hammer special. I'm not thrilled about. In hindsight, probably would have preferred not to have done that. There we go. Ooh. Hello there. That's what we say at the cauldron sometimes. Thank you, Hephaestus. And those go the full length of the arena? No. One more of the Hephaestuses, like that, and we should have it. We didn't take any damage from her. We did end up playing very safely with the Hephaestus specials.
Still, you bested me. I know not whether to heap praise or reprimand you for being such a little show-off.
I've gotten stronger.
Perhaps we haven't prophecy fulfilled.
I prevailed. And check.
And Chaos, I imagine, is about to take us back.
No.
Like so.
Now.
So that may be the last. Hmm? the last of those types of Chaos runs. At least, as of right now.
Thank you, Chaos.
I do hope they add more of those, though, as development continues, because they are fun. That one was very different, though. All the other ones were giving us these crazy, powerful setups, more or less, right off the bat, so we could just roll through a floor. Not the case that time. It was kind of interesting, though, to have what was basically a walk down memory lane and showing us what it was like on our first run.
Chaos trials. We're not changing reality too much, are we, Phrenos?
Because you definitely do take for granted sometimes just how much benefit you're getting from the Arcana.
So what's the deal with the horned guy anyway? Saw him and Nemesis chatting like they were an item or something. It was weird.
Have we seen them together? Aren't they... Is, Moros also a child of Nyx? I think they're brother and sister, aren't they?
They're siblings, Dora.
Yeah.
The horned one is Lord Moros, emissary of the Three Fates. Our distinguished guest and a valuable ally.
Yeah, looks like we really put him up in style.
Well, I mean... He kind of insisted on standing out here. We did apparently finish... Oh, a couple of these? Oh, get any aspect to rank 5. That gives us 3 of the... Shadow Dust? Stardust. Not Starbucks, Stardust, I remember. And then this one, Daughter of the God of the Dead shall some evening prove herself against her superior, whilst not influenced by any arcana available to her. Defeat Hecate with no arcana active. Oh, I remember, we had seen this previously, and we were saying to ourselves, maybe at some point we'll go out of our way to just do a 1-floor run, and do it solely for this purpose, to complete this one, but it's kind of nice how Chaos basically did all the setup for us there.
Excellent.
And that's a pretty nice reward. On both fronts, especially the first one.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't even see you there, to be honest. How's it going?
You really want to know the way things used to be, Trouble? Think about everything that gets you to come out of your tent night after night. Gets you fired up. What comes to mind?
You're gonna say, well, it's strife.
Sure. Those I care about are counting on me. And I wish to learn. To grow strong in body, mind, and spirit.
Inspiring. Now imagine having everything you want. So you're left wanting nothing at all.
No, I can't imagine that. So everyone besides you was self-indulgent and unmotivated. But now the roles are reversed, I suppose.
Oh?
You don't get it. Fine.
Just go away. We're also faster now, I think, from some of our arcana. Okay. Nothing new there. Oh! This is ready to collect?
Fresh from the pot.
Oh, right.
Must be an incantation that can
It's a
help.
crafting resource. We're still waiting to find out how to get this. That's the big one. The dissolution of time. We could get these troves up on the surface. Seems to be the only thing we can do right now. Don't need the fabric to get more of the shadow. Oh, right. These. Yeah, we wanted to take one of these over to the cat familiar on the surface. Takes 14 before that's actually ready to go, so tell you what, we'll get this, because that should be immediately applicable.
I command the dark to aid my task, and with me find my mark. So mote it be.
I'm not a huge fan of the troves, at least not all the time. There are some circumstances in which they're okay when you're feeling pretty comfortable about where you are with the run, and you can take those risks to fight additional enemies, or I guess maybe in the other circumstance where you're absolutely desperate and you feel like it's a lost run, the only way you could potentially get out of it would be if you happen to get lucky and not take much damage from a trove and get whatever the reward might be. So, I mean, there are times when it's helpful, I suppose. But now, let's do this. It does cost one of those Stardusts, but we have enough of those now that that's not the end of the world to spend one here, and then we also have the option to buy them back at the broker as well, so there is always that backup plan too, if we find we're spending too aggressively on other things.
take
Okay.
a little while.
But that will take a little while, indeed.
Vengeance for your family awaits you far below. I'm certain they would be proud of what you have become. Bear them in your heart when you strike.
Ooh.
Headmistress, I'll bear them in my heart, but I have no memory of them. How could I? You're the one who's always been there for me.
Oh, don't say such things. I am not your mother, Millennium. So much she could have taught you. I cannot. Never compare us.
That is actually interesting, because in so many ways, Hecate has been the mother-like figure for us, but she is not our mother.
Okay.
At least not biologically. In terms of her role, yes.
Oh, Mother.
Speaking of which...
Been hunched over that cauldron so much. At least your craft is finally doing something around here. So much toiling with no results.
That's interesting that she says this now, after we just finished what is, in some ways, the last incantation at the cauldron. It may just be that that final one we saw, the dissolution of time to eventually defeat Kronos, might just not even be possible regardless of how many runs we do, because of the current state of the game. Obviously, it's still in development, so they might deliberately be waiting to make that possible until they've finished the super end game content. And by that metric, yeah, that might mean that we are quite literally done with all the immediate unlock-related incantations. All the other ones might just be for various crafting material creation.
Our craft is typically about the self, and such results tend not to be immediate. Though I appreciate you noticing.
Yeah, well...
Oh, yeah, and that's also, make no mistake, one of, if not the only time, Nemesis has actually complimented us.
You asked before about how I managed it. The pressure to always prevail through what, in retrospect, were many terribly exciting scenarios, all whilst bearing the burden of so many others' expectations and my own.
You said you always believed there was a solution, a positive outcome that could be discovered and achieved. I've been thinking about that.
Yeah.
Good. But it occurred to me there's something else. It was love that drove me on. The great war that earned me my place in Elysium. I wanted desperately not to go. To stay with my wife and then newborn son.
Mm-hmm.
You were left with no choice but to fight. So you held to hope that someday you'd see your family again.
Sound familiar, does it?
Oh. Technically speaking, the cultural significance of the Odyssey, when it comes to how it has affected basically any and every story since, is monumental. There are so many things that you probably wouldn't even realize, but are based off of, loosely or sometimes not so loosely, the Odyssey itself, Odysseus' journey back from the Trojan War. And what is the name of that archetype? Like the hero's journey? Or something, which is basically a somewhat standardized structure for a typical novel. And I haven't really thought of that from the perspective of the Odyssey, but I imagine if you looked at that critically, you could see that, yeah, most of those things are very heavily borrowed from the Odyssey, and the Odyssey is pretty darn old. So it is the thing that inspired all the other stuff. Whether it be directly or indirectly, sure, not everything, don't get me wrong, but so many things that the Odyssey, so many stories that the Odyssey has influenced and helped guide one way or another. And, I mean, we are getting to the point now where just about everything that you can do in the game in its current state we have done. So that may mean that Hypnos just cannot awaken, at least not at this stage. We cannot defeat Kronos, at least not at this stage. We can't get that many more things from the cauldron crafted, and Sure, there are still various aspects and arcana that we can upgrade further. That much is true. We could always continue to collect resources of various varieties, but we are kind of reaching a natural point, a natural pausing point, where we're kind of waiting now for the next round of updates to the game. Obviously, as I said, there are still some things we can go out and achieve, and also the prophecies, of course, as well. There are many that we have not completed, but that may mean...
Come here where these old eyes can see ya.
Not sure what that's all about. But it seems like we are reaching, as I said, a natural place where we might be going to put Hades 2 on pause until we see the next update come out.
We all saw you disappear into that pitch black stone. Another means by which you may spring into action, retaining the element of surprise. Pretty nice.
Pretty nice indeed. That's why I'd like to see more of those in the future. Speaking about updates.
All this time. It's so much more than a monument to night, and its origins even more ancient. But I never considered it a weapon in our arsenal.
Oh.
Well, not like you can crack me over the head with it, but yeah.
Huh. Suppose it could potentially give us some elements of surprise of some variety. So yeah, I mean, we could also unlock more of the keepsakes and further increase our bond with some of the other people in town. We can unlock more familiars. We can do more of the fear-related things. So it's not to say that it would be impossible for us to do more in Hades, but at the same time, I think it does probably make sense for us to wait a little bit until we see the next round of updates. And I believe the developers have said that they plan to do a little more updates before they do the full release. I think they said that they plan to do the full release sometime in 2025, but at least for now, I think this will be a natural place for us to put Hades 2 aside for just a little bit. But thank you all for watching, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you next time when those updates do happen.